they are just dying to meet you.
Nerd.
What's going on, guys? It's Nick from Nerd Culture, and today I want to talk about the Suicide Squad 2 reboot, soft free. No one knows, to be honest. No one knows, because it's taking out inspiration from the first one, not taking inspiration from the first one. Characters are coming back, characters aren't coming back. Don't remember. It's weird. But anyway, James Gunn's is the Suicide Squad. It just dropped a new trailer the other day, and I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about it, because there were a few things that I think are going to be important. First of all, what is going on?
I don't get it.
To start off, we get actual good world building in the DCEU, with Bloodsport being revealed to put Superman in the ICU with a kryptonite bullet, which is something, it's so small dialogue, yet something that has actual implications in the world. That maybe it was either hidden that this happened, or even that's something that could actually lead to another movie or hint at for future films in the future. Small things like this work, guys. Good job. Good job. And whatever you say about the first one of the things I absolutely loved in the first one was Viola Davis as Amanda Waller. The way she kind of took herself, presented herself with threats was good. And the way it carries into this film, because right the next scene, we see her threatening Bloodsport to join by using his daughter as leverage. And then immediately Bloodsport takes like a pen, I think, puts it to her throat saying, like, you want to test me? And she's like, stand down to everyone having guns pointed at Bloodsport. Meaning like, yeah, this is not your thing. This is my thing. And then we get like a bunch of wacky characters. And if I were to go through each one of them, we'd be here for a while. But the main guys are obviously Bloodsport. We have King Shark. We have Harley Quinn, Ratcatcher 2.0. We have Peacemaker and a few others here and there, with Pete Davidson and Nathan Fillion in Suicide Squad. Why those two are in it, I don't know. Am I oddly happy about it? Yes. Yes, I am. And another thing I want to get into really bad is the humor, because the humor in the last trailer didn't seem quite right to me. It didn't really feel like it was well crafted, because the one I took away from it was the one where they were interrogating the Thinker, and it was just a bunch of weird gags that didn't make sense. But in this one, I feel like they're trying to show the better sides of the humor, because obviously this is a James Gunn film. He directed Guardians of the Galaxy, which had a lot of humor in it, but at the same time took the serious moments seriously. But with this, I do think they're trying to find a happy medium with it. And there were a few scenes in the trailer where I did chuckle a little bit.
Ratatouille, what do you got?
Bird.
Now what? Stay off the comm.
But my thing is this going to be a problem throughout, where some jokes will land, some jokes will kind of fall, and like we're just going to be there awkwardly, where they just keep going, trying to make it work? I don't know, but that's something James Gunn does well, is that happy medium, so I will give him the benefit of the doubt. But I am hoping for a mix of good comedy and serious, because when I think Suicide Squad, I think zany characters that make no sense or be in weird situations. It's kind of it.
A dog? What kind of dog do you think it is, mate?
I'm gonna go with Afghan Hound.
Oh my god, is it a werewolf?
Yo, they turned me into a werewolf? Yo, let me out!
Hey, he's not a werewolf, okay? He's a weasel. He's harmless. I mean, he's not harmless. He's killed 27 children, but, you know.
And then to top it off, I want to talk about some of the characters I think that I'm going to like the most. Oddly, Peacemaker, because for some reason, my inner WWE fan when I was a kid is coming out and seeing John Cena on screen having these weird one-liners as Peacemaker. I didn't know who the hell Peacemaker was at first. I had to look him up when they first said John Cena is Peacemaker. I looked him up, and I'm like, okay, that works. And then I'm seeing him in the trailers, I'm kind of like, okay, I'm with it. Let's do this. But to me, I kind of want him to do good, because I haven't seen Fast 9 yet. I've only seen the trailers. But it just makes no sense to me. I mean, the whole film is just, how is John Cena, Dominic Toretto, Vin Diesel's brother in the movie? They look nothing alike. I'm not wrong for this. Like, they don't look alike. But on top of that, you have guys like the Ratcatcher 2.0, which is the continuation of the original Ratcatcher, Polka Dot Man, who's never been taken seriously, and for some reason is in a movie before way other characters that people have been demanding for. Bloodsport, who actually does have a chance to be a standout here, and then other zany ones like King Shark, who was supposed to always be like this ripped shark, humanoid shark that like is like a cannibal. But in this one, he looks like a guy with a dad bod who just so happens to be a shark with like the brain of a 2-year-old.
Num num.
My main gripe with this trailer, and especially the last one, was showing Starro. Now, the reason I say that is because Starro is like the first ever supervillain or villain the Justice League went up against. They were the reason they formed the Justice League in the comics. And this is a character no one really thought would be live action. This is like something you see in animated stuff. The last time I think I saw him was Young Justice in the new season. We saw him there. Why James Gunn chose him, I don't know, but I am excited for it. But my problem lies in the fact that they overplayed their hand. To me, trailers are like a game of poker. You want to lead on that you have something of value, but you don't want to show until you have them hooked. Meaning that if I've already bought my ticket, I want that surprise. If you're telling me off the bat, Starro, like I go into this film seeing Starro as the main villain, don't get me wrong, I'm going to enjoy it, but that surprise is gone. That like, oh my God factor, that like, oh my God, it's Starro. That could have been so much more to me if I didn't know he was in the film at all. If I went into this blank, not knowing anything like of what the film, all I knew was the characters of the Suicide Squad, totally down. Because now you're taking that away from me. I'm gonna enjoy it, but the whole time being like, all right, how they getting this dude, or like if they incapacitating him. And I do hope they don't kill him off in this movie, Starro, because he's one of those weird characters that I just for some reason want to see fight not the Suicide Squad, the Justice League. You know, the guys, the reason they were fighting him. But I do think it is kind of a funny like situation where Justice League fought them first, and now it's just all of a sudden the Suicide Squad. Two teams, one's made of the good guys, the heroics, and the other's the lowlifes. Oh boy. Now, I don't know when and where exactly this will take place in the DCU because they're not really hinting at anything. And obviously with the whole thing in a weird situation, AT&T selling it off to Discovery, Warner Brothers, DC, like the whole thing being in flux, Henry Cavill apparently being fired, Ben Affleck being fired, this and that. And it's just the whole thing to me is nuts.
Things are a mess. It's a mess.
And if you were to truthfully tell me that this movie was going to come out before the Flash movie, which is going to have a lot more implications on the actual DCU as a whole, I would have thought this would have came out afterwards. Because then the questionable castings in the sense that taking guys from the original but not keeping it as a sequel would have made sense to me. Because then it's a multiverse thing. It's like, oh, they're just random people. I mean, that's what happens. It's the multiverse. You can't control it. But the fact that they're releasing it before a movie as important as The Flash is questionable. I'm excited for this film. I will see it day one in theaters. I'm going to go see it. But it just chronologically, like my nerdy brain, it doesn't make sense as a whole to me. And that's something I'd rather see more as like taken seriously. The way Kevin Feige of the MCU plans everything out. I feel like this man has planned his like 10-year package already. Like this man is like 20 years in the future already. Overall though, I'm so excited for this film because it's one of those things, it's an action movie in the summer after a long tiring pandemic. I think I deserve this. No, but in all seriousness, I will be seeing it. Will you be seeing it is a different question. Because I know a lot of people were not fans of the first one. I was not a fan. I enjoyed aspects of it. Viola Davis, Harley Quinn, Deadshot, and a few others, but the thing as a whole was just a mess. The original Suicide Squad was a mess. This is trying to bring back the fans who were hyped for the first one, getting excited for this idea of the Suicide Squad, and now I'm just waiting at this point to see if they can redeem these characters, if they can do them justice or injustice. See what I did there? But let me know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments down below what you want to see in the Suicide Squad. Do you think Starro should have been held out for the actual film? Who's going to be your favorite character? Who do you think will be a little more disappointing? Who do you think will surprise you as your favorite? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and if you like more content, please check out everything else. We have DC Nerd, Disney Nerd, Marvel Nerd. We have all these other things. Make sure to check out the channel more. We do Twitch even too. We're actually affiliated for once, guys. Thank you so much for that. This has been Nick at DC Nerd. I'll see you guys later.